Hi there, welcome to one of the latest updates in the Jay Slater case. Just recently, it has been revealed what was found in Jay's Armani bag by the mother opening it up for the first time ever. So when it came to Jay's bag, it was with him at the time of when he died, but where it was located, I believe it was a bit higher up compared to where he was found. So there was distance between him and his bag. Now, is there always that possibility that what was remaining in the bag was anything else of interest taken away? If that ever was the case, would you expect a level of touch-based DNA upon it? You'd hope to think so, but because there was no mention of that on Jay's body, and whilst people do push and shove the concepts of foul play being pushed off, when it comes to the bag itself, maybe how that was handled, if it was by anyone else before that, as in taking items out of opportunity to gain from opportunistic behaviour. If there was any money, anything like that, it might have been done discreetly or with the usage of some material or gloves. Whilst that's jumping in at the deep end, it's just to put out there for perspective as we read into one of the latest articles that goes into depth about the items that were found inside and remained there onwards and when retrieved back and given to the family. This is in reference to the Channel 4 documentary, which is airing soon, I think this Sunday. And on top of it, it reveals some other shocking details. Depending on what order I upload this video in, there's a second video that I have done or will upload, which reveals a harrowing final message, which was never truly received at the time, but delayed onwards. So when it comes to opening this bag, almost like a delayed feel, as in you've got it, but are you ready to open it, to unpack what could be within there? Because it can be upsetting, it could be shocking depending what's present. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with a photo from the article of Debbie herself, the mother, holding an image of Jay Slater, who we're familiar with by now, which transitions onto, I believe, from the documentary, where it shows her reaction to opening it up. I'm not quite sure what she's got in her hand, whether that be a bit of clothing to do with Jay Slater, smelling the scent, memorizing and feeling the presence, or if it's just like some kind of tissue or cloth as she's looking into the contents of the bag. As for the documentary, I believe it does show her physically opening it, but in terms of the words and the description here, in the documentary, Jay's mum, Debbie, revealed how she found a harrowing message on her son's phone, which we'll do some coverage on shortly. The heartbroken parent is also filmed as she finally finds the courage to go through some of the 19-year-old's other belongings, including the bag, which he was found with. Whilst sitting in his bedroom, Debbie movingly says, in quotes, "It's been a year and I still can't bring myself to unpack his case. I still smell his smell." She then produces a black zip bag, which she explains is the one which Jay had with him when he was found, Armani brand. In quotes, "We got handed this from the Guardia Civil. It's got his things in it," Debbie adds. The mum then delicately sifts through the items inside whilst narrating what she finds, saying his driving license and then this bottle of aftershave and his lighters. The inquest into Jay's death previously heard how his body had been discovered next to a dry riverbed with a bag containing his phone, passport, and nitrous oxide canisters discovered around 20 meters away. So there's some distance between the two. And why would that be the case? Is it that he's got it over his shoulder, that type of bag over the shoulder, and then when falling and rolling and tumbling, it fell off his body in the process and got caught on some vegetation as he carried on rolling? That's a possibility. But was the bag handled with by anyone else before Jay was found? Did anyone try going through it, taking anything out? You let me know in the comment section down below. And lastly, Coroner Dr. James Adley said that the toxicology test found the teen had consumed MDMA, cocaine, and alcohol before his death, and that test from Spanish authorities had found he'd used ketamine before his death as well. He said that Jay's death was ruled as accidental and had occurred after he fell from a significant height whilst he attempted to descend a ravine. So when it mentions about an attempt in descending down a ravine, already in the process of danger, that one wrong move, one little slip, overstep or trip could be the end for Jane. That appears to be the case based on that outcome or outlook. But you got to take in mind, if Jay was descending, was he descending to get to somewhere he needed to be? Was he descending to get away from someone that was following him close or nearby? Because depending on how far he got and how far he descended until he fell, got to take into consideration someone or some people that are or could be responsible would have had to have taken the same route, the same dangerous route, and they themselves may have not been experienced or had the correct equipment too, but they somehow survived. So it's worth taking that into consideration. But they mentioned the results back as in drugs consumed, some serious drugs, before his death, but as in when were they taken? Did Jay take those supposed drugs whilst at the Airbnb? Or was it whilst he was at the festival, as drugs being passed around in the background, and then got in the car with Ayub and Rocky and didn't take any more from there on? Depends how you look at it. In regard to a supposed disappearing WhatsApp message to Debbie, who received it, I guess, during the search early on, about your son isn't going to survive or you won't see him again and he owes us a lot of money. Has that got anything to do with Jay Slater taking some of those said drugs when he wasn't supposed to? If whether he was, supposed to deliver them, move them about, in possession of drugs or stealing drugs, and decided to take some himself, and that's why he owed people money, because he either stole it, consumed it himself when he wasn't supposed to, or he got caught up in something he wasn't, with the wrong crowd, and then had to deal, and it all went wrong. And that kind of ties in with him trying to escape or run away. And you could combine it as in shady, dark, dodgy activity, but still the death could have been accidental, but also influenced by the drug consumption, the side effects from that, possible disorientation, and paired with dehydration. It's really not a good outcome for Jay there. So you let me know what you think down below in the comment section. There can be an overlap of activity, consumption, and side effects, and then panic and worry and fear of, what have I just done? I should be doing this for someone. I've got caught up in the wrong crowd of people, and then acting irrationally, as in decision making and mind, when trying to possibly escape. But other people have suggested, when it comes to a possible accident, descending a ravine to try and get to a possible beach nearby to try and signal for help if there were any boats around. That's the other possibility. Nevertheless, the contents of the bag have finally been revealed, and you let me know, are you surprised by it or not? Do you anticipate or expect that there could have been more items in that bag, but they may have been stolen or taken from the bag before he was found? There's always that little possibility. So hopefully the video was of interest, and be on the lookout for my other one coming out at some point. Appreciate your patience, and thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.